Hello, YouTube. Now, this is a very long battle, about 19, almost 20 minutes, and this is a battle against a new competitor. I forgot his name, but he seemed pretty eager, and our old favorite, Jonathan. Now, he's gonna kind of like co-narrate with us. Also, we have Cody here, too. So, here we go. We got a T-Tar versus Polytoad. T-Tar's faster, gets the sand up, and then Polytoad wins the weather war. So, at this point, what were you thinking, Jonathan?
Well, first of all, I automatically go with T-Tar in the beginning, just to get the sandstorm up. But when I noticed that the rain the rain comes out the stand, I just go straight into my Boomer right here.
All right, and Boomer then takes that Toxic very well, I guess, because it's unaffected. So now that scares off his little thing there, and he goes into his Landorus, and then that screws up his Boomer. So a lot of predicting going on. He went. The new challenger went for a U-turn, probably just to scout out because he figured that Jonathan would switch his Magnezone. You can butt in whenever you want, Cody. But and then the new challenger goes into his Polytoad because he probably predicted the Steel move, figuring that since Landorus he wasn't affected by Electric, so that's why he went to his Polytoad, just to scout out. So now he's going to protect just to continue to scout out what Jonathan's trying to do. So why did you stay in with your Magnezone at this point, Jonathan?
At this point, I was just trying to find out like what was he playing. I was predicting that he was going to go for the switch like he does right now, and I'm just trying to go like just straight on, just start attacking, because I figured if I lose this Magnezone, it's alright because I have backups on my side.
Alright, so now this Ferrothorn, was it a problem during the match?
Yes, big problem. I hated this Ferrothorn so much just because of leftovers and iron barbs. It's so terrible. Now I was trying to figure out what my hidden power was. Through the whole day, I still didn't figure out what my hidden power was, as you can see right there. But this Ferrothorn is just, he gets his Stealth Rocks and he just starts going for the spikes as well. So this was very, very annoying for me.
Yeah, and I guess later on you didn't realize what Rapid Spin did.
Yeah, I didn't know what Rapid Spin did until he told me.
That's just crazy. Freaking Rapid Spin's one of the most, probably top 5 best moves in the game, next to Stealth Rocks and U-turn. And you just don't know what it does. You're retarded.
I don't know what it does. I don't play the video game that often. I usually just go on Smog and just look at my move list just to go.
Yeah, but you've had a bunch of feature matches over the month or so.
Yeah, just with straight power teams.
Oh, definitely. So anyways, here you start setting up your spikes and all that stuff. He starts setting up his spikes and all that stuff, and you guys are just like sitting there looking pretty, setting up spikes and rocks and taunting and all that kind of good stuff. And la-di-da-di-da, this is why this frickin' thing is so frickin' long. What do you have to say to that?
I enjoy this very, very much.
Yes, he enjoys making you, the viewers, wait in agony as people set up stuff. So anyways, while we have time, let's talk about some of the other competitors that we need to give out some shout-outs to. Anybody in particular?
Not really.
Okay.
I have a couple.
All right, Cody.
Jeff Fallberg Jr. and Sr. Shout out to y'all for being the 2 top competitors in this tournament so far.
Definitely.
Props up to you guys, man. Keep it in there.
Yes, also too, the new challenger Mike stepped up to the plate. He ended up making top 6 today, so that was a very, very, very good thing. So, just a reminder to everybody, there will be VGC doubles at the end of every month. The end, not the middle, not the beginning, not the 90th. It's the end. So, anyways, so here you go. It just keeps continually. It's like a switch war, where both of the players are predicting each other, but none of them want to over predict. That's why this is what happens when you get that. When each player can predict what's going on, but they don't want to over predict what's going to go on. So here, why did you go into your Doriyuzu when Ferrothorns commonly carry Power Whip or some type of grass move.
I just didn't know what to do at this point, but in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? I might as well just go for it. I have nothing to lose. But as you can see here, I went into my X-Man, and I know that I eventually have to do it here. If I didn't do it already, I probably just have to do the Stealth Rocks just to get it up. And I know what I'm gonna do here from now on because my Skarmory's speed is just incredible. So I was figuring out a plan as of right now, just to do here, just weaken up his Ferrothorn immediately, and especially his Politoed. His Politoed is like the main one I just wanted to get rid of, so then I could just go back into my T-Tar and then just get that up immediately after that.
So here he predicted the Hammer Arm or some type of he predicted the Hammer Arm because obviously Ferrothorn only weakness really is fighting and fire also, but basically in this situation the only weakness is fighting from a Metagross, so he predicts the Hammer Arm, goes into the Landorus, takes that very nicely, goes into the U-turn trying to see if you would switch fearing the Earthquake. So basically on the competitor's part, on the opposite side, he was over predicting Jonathan's moves, and this is also another common mistake that a lot of people do. Like sometimes going for the obvious move is not a bad thing, even if like say you go for the Earthquake and then they switch into a flying Pokemon. I mean, at least you did it, so now you show what your level of competency is to your opponent, or what you think it is, so that later on in the match, if something happens like that again, you can always then predict, because they'll just assume, if you keep doing the safe choice, they'll assume that you're not going to over-predict. So it's a very mental game, mental mind game and stuff like that. I've had a couple of instances where me and the Jeffs were going at it, and I ended up, going for the safe move, and then they ended up over-predicting, and then at that point, that was when I started over-predicting, and, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So anyways, here, Skarmory is definitely a threat to most of the other guys' team, except for Gengar. I mean, the Gengar has special attacks, which could potentially do something to Skarmory, but since Skarmory is Steel, this puts Gengar at a little bit of a disadvantage because most of its attacks will probably be reduced by half because of the resistances, Ghost and Poison's immune. So both of Gengar's stabs aren't really effective against Skarmory, but I've seen Gengar's carry like Flamethrower and yada yada yada. But this is obviously sub Gengar. Now he goes for the Focus Blast. So this, to me, says that Gengar doesn't carry any fire moves. So far now it carries the Focus Blast, Sub, you can probably say Disable, very, very common set. So here, this is where the Skarmory does really, really, really well. Start phasing out his team, getting the rocks and all that stuff, damage added up. So here, Landorus goes for the Stone Edge. Doesn't really do too much because it's neutral damage. Skarm is just a wall when it comes to physical moves. And then out comes the Politoed. So now, at this point, Politoed could possibly take out the Skarm because of the special, and also now he brought up the rain and stuff. So if he knows a Surf, if he surfs, it could potentially take out Skarmory at this point. So what does your opponent do at this point?
Right now he tries to stall me out, see what I'm trying to do, but as of right now, I know what my main goal is, just to sweep just with Whirlwind, and that's pretty much it. That's just what's going on through my mind right now. I'm just trying to knock out the Politoed, so immediately I go right to the T-Tar.
Okay, so now he goes for the Scold. Now that Protect was the end of that Politoed. If that Politoed went straight for the Scold, he probably would have knocked out the Skarmory. So now here a Tornadus comes out. So obviously you can fear the Hurricane, which will kill the Skarmory. But Skarmory's just eating his leftovers. Nom 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 nom. So here, instead of going for like any stab moves, he just goes for a U-turn. Like, I don't know. This guy, Zero, he's playing very, I don't know, like, he's depending U-turn too much, and he's not using any of his stabs. Like, if he ended up using a lot of his stabs, he probably could have killed this Skarmory way long ago. Now I'm actually seeing this for the first time. But as far as Jonathan's concerned, he's happy with how his opponent played, because you got the win, correct?
Yeah, I got the win. It just wasn't about the win. It was just how amazing this match is. As you can see, he's just going in on me, and he's just trying to knock up the Skarmory as much as he can.
You won.
But automatically he knows he knows that I'm just gonna continue going for the whirlwind. If he gets my HP down, I'm gonna go do the roost. But here's the thing: he made a huge mistake on his part. As you can see from all of this, all that he's doing, he could just really switch into the Gengar and just do disable. And,
Yeah.
And as he's not doing it as of right now, but he does realize that later on in the game.
And that was one way he could have gotten rid of the Skarm, but also too, like, everybody should know this by now. Skarmory has a decent, okay amount of HP. I mean, look at that, 172. So that's pretty good HP. But its special defense is lacking. Like, if you attack it with a Surf or even Thunder is super effective, but any type of special attack, you will win. Well, and then this is another lesson too to people who make teams. Typing is very important. That's first stage, but really to get more advanced into your team building, you have to assign roles. So generally, a basic chart that I've used all the time is you have a Pokemon that is more specially bulky, or technically a special wall. You got a Pokemon that's a physical wall, a physical sweeper, special sweeper, and then you have your Pokemon with taunt. Generally, them are very fast and usually they're your leads, and then you have another Pokemon which could fulfill almost any spot once you have those 5 filled. And so it's not necessarily about the typing, it's about what move pools and everything it has. Like your Skarmory, Jonathan, I would class it as a physical wall because of its defense and everything, and it doubles as a entry hazard setup. So right there's your 2 roles. That's why Skarmory's owning in this match in particular, because I think he has like 5 or 4 Pokemon that have physical moves, and that's just way too much, and that one little bird can wall them all.
Yep, pretty much.
Yes. I've done this too at the tournament with my own Skarmory, which is actually not fully developed. Like, I've trained it and everything, but it doesn't have Sturdy as an ability, and I don't have Brave Bird on mine. Mine's a Toxic I use instead of Brave Bird, just because I feel that the Toxic kind of covers more, and either way, Brave Bird or Toxic, like, they do nothing against Steel types, so that's kind of like why I have Toxic over Brave Bird. But so at this point, it's just a painful thing to watch. It's all it is. It's just a lot of wind and gusting and switching and just like spikies and rockies and low HP and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, this is pretty much like gonna be a match where we're just gonna talk about the tournament and stuff like that a little bit more. So today, a lot of people were saying about the Drizzle Swift Swim, how Smogon bans that on the same team, but there were like 4 Swift Swim teams today, and I think one of them topped, and they all had like Kingdra, and the one that topped didn't even have a Swift Swim guy on there. So in my opinion, it is not OP, and it's there, so that's why we're allowing it in these tournaments. Your opinions, Jonathan, about that? Because you faced a couple of Rain Dance teams.
That's my phone.
Yeah.
That's his phone. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen.
Well, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So Swift Swim Drizzle. What in your opinion, is that too OP for tournament use or?
Tournament use. I would say no. Because there's plenty of ways to get around it.
I would also say no too, because myself, I ran a Swift swim team today, and I pretty much was 2-2, so it's not pretty much that broken. I consider my Swift swim team to be pretty good, but there's always a way to get around something, man. Always a way.
Yes, but Jeff Fallberg Jr. still runs away with being. Oh no, wait. Technically, his father did beat him in final, but as far as in every Swiss, for about a month and a half or so by now, he's been undefeated. So this is an SOS calling to everybody. I want to see someone up in first place. This week, I'm not going to offer anything because Jeff Fallberg Sr. ended up taking the prize of getting a free entry for next week. So, this week, what we're going to say is if you beat Frogman at this tournament, we will give you a free stuffed Bulbasaur toy. But you have to mention this video first. Alright. So anyways, so now finally the bird, did he kill the bird? No, he just...
my T-tar so I can get the sand up.
He just disabled the bird, and then he went to his T-tar. So, like, this is ridiculous at this point that the competitor across Zero let this go on for as long as it did. And then, so anyways, now he's making a little bit of a comeback with the Gengar, taking out the T-tar, but the sand's already up. Politoad's gone. So, obviously, in the Weather War, Jonathan has won. So now, here comes the bird again, and he's going to go for, what? Zero switches? Why doesn't he go for disable or something? I don't know. Oh, because technically, he had to disable, he has to use Whirlwind, then switch into Gengar, then use disable. So, that is why he didn't go into Gengar right off rip, because if Jonathan kept using Whirlwind, what would happen is he would Whirlwind the Gengar out every time he tried to switch him in, and thus getting no damage on the bird himself. So basically, Zero had to wait for random chance in order to get his Gengar to disable that Whirlwind. But that's why you run a taunter on the team. Like, if Gengar knew taunt instead of disable, he possibly could have turned this whole game around and won, because he did have a lot of heavy hitters on the team. So your opinion?
Absolutely. I go with you all the way with that opinion as well.
Okay, yep. And just to say, we had a returning champ, second place Phil. Phil, just giving him some more props out there. Since this video is really, really long, I'm just gonna give people props. Anyway, so Brave Bird takes out the Gengar very easily because it was at low health at that time. And I don't know who's that in the background. It's probably Jonathan. No.
Yeah, sure.
Well, whatever. So Brave Bird will obviously take out the Breloom, and I'm pretty sure this is his second to last Pokemon. I think he has maybe one more.
Tornadus and I believe Landers.
Oh, Tornadus Landers, which one when you switch it in will die, and the other one I'm not too sure. But so pretty much this is GG at this point, and I hope you guys are enjoying these little feature matches that I'm putting up. I'm hoping people actually do watch them and pay attention, and definitely. So again, Gaming ETC, 555 Lower Street Boulevard, Stratford, Connecticut. $5 entry fees to enter. Rules and regs are posted in a video, and this week I'm going to be posting another standings video just to show everybody. And hope you guys love this match, and hope to see you there. Have a good one. Ready, say